Aloha. You're watching F5's Ask the Expert. I'm Peter Silva. SSL and SSL Everywhere is a growing trend on the internet, and I'm thrilled to have Kevin Stewart. He's a security solution architect with F5. Great to see you, Kevin.
Great to see you.
So can you tell us a little bit about this movement within the industry where organizations want to deploy SSL from end to end, and heck, even search engines are doing encryption to the browser, aren't they?
Absolutely. You know, SSL Everywhere is really a paradigm shift in the way we think about IT networks services. You know, gone are the days where you had a hostile network with a firewall in front and a DMZ and maybe another firewall, and then you're completely unprotected network on the inside. What we've learned over the years, though, is that the bad guys are bringing the bad stuff through malware straight through encrypted ports, right? So you've got 443, you have to have 443 open, right, or you're not doing anything, right? So you got this 443 coming in, the malware is landing on the internal browsers, and then the game's over, right? And so customers are starting to want to bring SSL all the way into the application, right? Which adds a lot of complexity. But one other thing that we've noticed that we've begun to understand with all of these recent exploits against SSL is that SSL isn't just about protecting data in motion. It's also about privacy, right? You know, we've traditionally protected the online purchases, the banking transactions, the federal stuff. But more and more you see the search engines like Google encrypting the traffic by default. Facebook by default encrypts the traffic. That information about you, about what you do and your search patterns and all the things that you do in a social environment affords just as much security and privacy as your online purchases. But again, that adds a lot of complexity, right? If you're bringing SSL all the way in from the outside to the application, you've got an entire suite of applications or security devices, your IDSs, your IPSs, your FireEyes, your source fires, that are essentially blind to your environment, and so they sit there just idly watching malware fly by. And so what SSL Everywhere is, from F5's perspective, is a way of right-sizing that environment, right, to produce an SSL optimized unencrypted zone, right, in the network. We handle the SSL on the outside. We provide that decrypted traffic to your IDS, your IPS, your other FireEyes, your source fires, and then we re-encrypt on the way back out.
And I think we were talking about that earlier. You know, the question became sort of like, how do organizations deal with this if they want to encrypt on the inside? And we started talking about those security devices, but even then, like you were mentioning, malware coming in on SSL, they're blind to it, aren't they?
Absolutely. And really, you know, you don't have many options, right? If you need to get SSL all the way inside, you either do something like this, or you bring it in all the way and you make all your security devices paperweights, right? Or you try to do SSL on some of those devices, which may not be able to handle that volumetric SSL traffic.
So from a big IP perspective, you're talking about terminating that encrypted traffic on the big IP and doing all the PKI right there on the proxy?
Absolutely, yes.
So give us a little how that would kind of flow to the application.
Well, so it sort of depends on the direction that you're going. So for forward proxy SSL, right, the stuff where we care about the malware on the inside, we're going to be the SSL endpoint for the egress traffic, the outbound traffic, and we're going to be the ingress of the SSL re-encryption point for that same traffic going to the external servers. And what we'll do is we'll take that server certificate and we'll reissue that to the client, who then trusts that internal certificate. Yeah.
And so that's actually pretty cool stuff. So then from a business perspective, right, I would think, you know, things like reducing risk, and you talked about privacy and those sorts of things, just a lot less stress to have to deal with this stuff, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Pretty cool stuff. I really appreciate your time, Kevin. He's smiling here. You had fun, didn't you? So a lot more about SSL, what's occurring within the industry. Stay in frame here, my buddy. And how you can use the big IP and F5 solutions to make it a lot easier for you if you're looking to encrypt and use SSL everywhere, like pretty much the entire internet is going these days, isn't it?
Definitely.
Cool. Thanks a lot for your time, Kevin. Always good seeing you. For Kevin, I'm Peter, and we're with F5 Networks. Thanks for watching.